Let's speak to Veronica, who's in Norwich as well. Are you comfortable with this idea of potentially sending Afghan women and girls back to the Taliban? Veronica, are you?
I'm not at all, and it's strange how all your previous callers, I think, because I turned off for a bit, were men who just seem to be comfortable. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. Women cannot do anything. Now, I understand there's a problem with immigration, but again, people are just saying illegal, illegal, illegal. But they are asylum seekers, and they need to be weeded out from the people that come on the boats, and the ones that are not eligible will be returned to wherever we can return them to, depending on our returns agreement. But to just send women and children back to whatever country that is treating women in such a manner, it's typical for me that it's all men calling and say, "Oh yeah, just send them back."
Well, Veronica, there were, I can think of at least one man, Aaron, I think it was, who said that he wasn't comfortable and he thought there should be an exception for women and girls.
I might have run downstairs and missed that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you know, these people, most of them also, a lot of them stood up for British soldiers. Are we really going to send people back to be, I don't know, even killed by the Taliban? And also somebody else pointed out, I don't know where I saw it this morning, but if you start paying terrorists, they just might send over people to get more money out of us. Do you see what I mean? Okay, we pay you to take this amount of people. They'll, under the cover, under the radar of smuggling, they'll send back more people, so we pay them some more money. They're terrorists. They're not ethical in any manner or shape or form.
Okay, Veronica, thank you. Veronica, Norwich.
Clive, you're on the radio. Good morning. You're talking about the Reform UK plan as well.
Well, I was, but I was originally meaning to chastise you slightly, Nick.
Oh, here we go. I'm so sorry. What have I done wrong now?
Well, it was about the way you handled the previous caller. I know that for balance you have to be contrarian at times.
Okay. But what did I get wrong, sir?
It was the chap who was talking about the migrant gangs roaming the streets. Now, let me tell you, I'm 71, and 40 years ago I got exiled to Lancashire where I found love.
Right.
And I don't very often come down to London anymore, but recently I came down, and one of my lads is a copper in the Met. So as a bit of fun, I decided to walk his patch. And I know it's a sad thing to do.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Well,
he
thought it was sad. But anyhow, I started walking around the Islington area, Camden area, and I was shocked, Nick. I was absolutely shocked. It wasn't the Britain I recognised anymore. It was a very tense, unfriendly place.
What time of day was it?
This was in the middle of the day. Listen, Nick, I'm not going to be out at 11 o'clock at night, I can assure you. I was walking around in broad daylight. I went down Regent's Canal. I went up to his nick on Tolpuddle Street and around that area. And it wasn't the London I recognise anymore. And
we must choose our language carefully. Is this because of what? I don't want you to pick on certain groups of people, but I've got to ask you where your discomfort came from, Clive.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Nick, and this is where society's going wrong now. We're all dancing on the heads of pins, aren't we? You know, we can't say I can't speak to you as I would like to speak to you because we've all got to be so politically correct, and we've got to be woke.
I'm allowing you to speak very clearly, but I can't allow you to just decide that all asylum seekers are trying to rob you. Every single asylum seeker in Islington is trying to rob you of your mobile phone.
Nick, listen. Just wind back a minute. When have I said asylum seekers, and when have I said anyone wanted to rob my phone?
All right, the people who came... where does the...
What I said is the structure of London or the fabric of London has changed out of all recognition.
But that's
what I'm trying to say.
But what is it that you see, lastly? I've got to get to news in a minute. What is it that you see, lastly?
Right. What it comes down... I have to say, there are too many people who aren't... See, you can't say it, can you?
Yes, you can't. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Who aren't? If you're going to say aren't British, how do you know they're not British? If that's what you were going to say, you might not be able to say that. What are you trying to say?
I think you're just playing with me now, Nick.
I'm not, sir. I'm not.
You are.
You said there are too many people who aren't, and then you stopped. Who aren't Welsh? What?
No, I'm a Welsh, I'd ban them as well.
No, but what? Who aren't?
Who aren't indigenous British? Is that?
How do you know?
Oh, Nick, see, now you are just playing me.
I'm honestly not. I respect your view, and thank you for your very kind words. But unfortunately, the music means we do have to move on. But you have to realise, if you're going to say, I walk around a town and there are too many people who aren't, well, wearing shoes, drinking, and that's where we have to.
Hello, Andrew.
Dame Emily, never spoke to Dame before. It's very exciting. Nice to speak to you.
Oh, we don't just come out of panto time.
Right, okay, very good. The first part, I'm going to, just the background is, you probably won't like it. I'm a lost Labour voter, I'm afraid to say.
Okay.
Mr Blair was the last time I voted for a Labour government.
What have you been doing instead then?
Voting for Conservatives, I'm ashamed to say now, after that last fiasco. But you know what my problem is what it is I want to say is about, I think we should give Labour more, as much as I'm unhappy with the present Labour government, for lots of reasons, they have to be given more time.
They have to be given a chance, don't they? They have to be given a chance.
These things don't happen overnight. And unfortunately, the biggest mistake I think they're making at the moment is bad communication. Farage, oh my God, the guy makes my skin crawl, but he's communicating to the people in a way that they're hearing him. And then
we have to challenge him. I mean, we have to challenge him.
Absolutely.
I mean, his plan, right? I mean, it does not make sense. He says he's going to deport everybody. But, well, where's he going to deport everybody to? And he's going to pay countries to take people. I mean, like, what are you going to do? So he's going to pay dictators to take people. What's he going to do in Sudan? Is he going to send young girls back to Sudan in order to be raped? Like paying people to take them. I mean, it's outrageous. It really is outrageous.
Do you know why he's like that? And this is the whole problem. There's lots of problems going on in this country at the moment. I'm not going to list them. We all know what they are. The health service, blah, blah, blah. The problem and the reason that there will always be problems, there'll always be issues, there'll always be injustices, there'll always be laws that need change and amending, whatever. It all comes from your old place of work, the House of Commons. That's the problem, and I'll tell you why. The problem is now we need politicians who are parliamentarians, who are in politics for public service, for beliefs. They want to be a socialist, a capitalist, a liberal, a protester, whatever it is. I'm talking about proper parliamentarians. You were one.
I still am, mate. I still am. Where do you think I've gone? It's because I've become a dame. It doesn't mean I'm not in Parliament anymore.
You're a parliamentarian. You sit on committees. You push agendas. Housing was one of yours, I think, and rights for women. You're a bit of an environmentalist, if I remember.
That's right.
So you had issues that you felt passionately about and you wanted to support them and you took them forward. Parliamentarians like Tony Benn, like Theresa May, like Clark, whether you agreed with their politics or not, they were parliamentarians and they made decisions, sometimes wrong, sometimes right, but they made decisions. They got things moving. And currently at the moment, we are... Farage is not a parliamentarian. He's no more a parliamentarian than I am.
No.
And then you get
we never see him. He's never there.
Exactly.
He might turn up occasionally to Prime Minister's questions, but otherwise we never see him. He doesn't do any parliamentary work at all.
It's a career, like the previous 3 or 4 Tory I've lost count of how many Tory Prime Ministers we had. The career people, they're in it for the career. They need to give the Labour government a chance. And the danger is, because of the way that it's being miscommunicated or not communicated, is, all these guys, not all these guys, a lot of these people that are demonstrating are just numpties. They don't know anything about what they're shouting about. They're just out because it's a good idea to give the police a kicking. I've been there. I was a police officer. So I know exactly what their motivation is, because you hear them talking in the ranks. Right, there's only so many, let's go. All that kind of stuff. But
I don't think everybody's like that, though. I mean, I do think that there have been other people who've been swept up in this, and who do think. Sorry, Andrew.
That's the dangerous bit. That's the dangerous bit. Normal working people. Somebody regarded to them. One of your last callers said ordinary folk. The ordinary people are being dragged into it. They're getting carried away with it. They're not being informed properly. by the people who should be informing them, and that's the government. And then you've got these other people who are the worst of the lot, generic, who has created more problems than he's ever solved in his short life, and now he's piping up and waving flags. It's laughable.
I think what's terrible is that, this is Farage's big issue, right? This is the big thing for him. And yet when he finally announces his policy, it's 6 pages. 2 of them are the front page and the back page. So that's 4 pages. The money doesn't add up. It's supposed to only cost £10 billion over 5 years. And yet Rupert Lowe, his sidekick, had exactly the same policy, and it was 47.5. And when people ask what's the difference, he goes and says, oh, it's because Zia Yusuf is good at maths. I mean, I never knew that maths could actually do that. And it's a different type of maths to the maths I understand.
It's buzzwords. It's all these buzzwords that they're using, and it's headlines. And you asked earlier on. You said, right, who's to blame? Is it the media? Is it people like Farage? Is it the government? What the Tories didn't do when they should have done? And they were despicable what they did. They saw the writing on the wall. They knew they were going to get booted out, so they just kicked that can down the road a bit, waiting for you guys to come in. And now everybody wants to know, you've been here 5 minutes, what are you doing about it?
Yeah. Listen, Andrew, we could talk all morning, but I've got to go. So, Nigel, you're in Uxbridge. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for taking my call. Firstly, I want to talk about the deterrent. We talk about this all the time, creating a deterrent. And I think that these people are already risking death to come here by getting on a dinghy boat to get to the UK. That is the ultimate deterrent. So nothing else is going to deter these people. They are that desperate. So, this talk of creating a deterrent, it's not going to work. The ultimate deterrent is already death.
Yeah, okay.
And another thing, I don't think we talk enough about Britain's role in creating the conditions for migration. I mean, it's never really acknowledged. I mean, foreign policy blunders, we have had endless wars and decades of, you could talk about colonial extraction. No one talks about or educate people enough on Britain's foreign policy that creates the root causes of these issues is created a lot by our foreign policy. We've had endless wars, Iraq, Afghanistan. What's going on in Palestine right now is going to create even more refugees. So, I mean, people need to be educated, and I think politicians are doing a poor job. The likes of Keir Starmer are doing a poor job of explaining this to people and getting people to understand what the root causes are.
But tell me, I mean, I hear you, but tell me this. Right, let's say, for example, we were responsible for what's going on in Sudan. I mean, we're not, but, we do have a history in Sudan as a country.
Yeah.
Does that then mean that everybody in Sudan should move to the UK? I mean, clearly not.
No, absolutely not. I'm not saying everybody. That's not possible. I mean, we have to share the love, right? Europe has to share the love. We're in this together. I mean, we don't take anywhere near as much as a lot of countries do anyway. I think we're one of the lowest anyway when you look at the numbers. Look at when you compare us to Germany and the likes, and if we have to share the love. I'm not saying Britain should take everyone, but we have a responsibility.
I mean, we're basically at the end of a long road, aren't we? So if you were, from Sudan, you would, and you needed to run, you'd run to the neighbouring country, and most people do that. And then some go further afield, and some go further afield. And then then if you're Sudanese, then coming to the UK is a very long route. I mean, to finally come to the UK, there are many other countries en route.
No, absolutely. But then we forget. I mentioned Britain's colonial past. I mean, a lot of people speak English. They want to come to a country that speaks the same language as well. That's another thing that's not often discussed. So there's a lot that people need to be educated on. Again, and I want to mention this as well. Immigration has always been a net benefit to the UK, economically, socially, and culturally, I would argue as well. And migrants are often overrepresented in industries like the NHS, logistics, hospitality, and without them, the system collapsed. Again, we need to talk about these things. I don't feel it ever gets mentioned, and it's frustrating to me.
Well, you've mentioned it. You've mentioned it this morning, Nigel, and you've mentioned it well. Thank you very much. Thank you for ringing.